Hi, welcome back to Sadie's Spincraft. Sorry, Spincraft. Sorry, I look a mess. I've just got out of bath. There's new flowers up, so we do have more, and I need to do an update on that. And this little thing here, I came third in yardage. And this says, oh, dry skin on my fingers. Sorry, got all distracted there. This says Sadie, TDF 25, yardage 4,572. I don't think you can see it, but yeah, it's got Calypso Fairy up there. In fact, no, that's Kim's Fairly Fibre Fun, that looks of it. Can we turn it that way? And on this side, I'm well impressed. Look, it's got holographic numbers on. Huh, how cool's that? I think they're the numbers that I've got in, I don't know, but yeah. I'm well impressed. Anyway, so I'm going to put that back in pride of place right now. So, today's video, we'll get started now. Today's video is going to be about how to get the yarn size you want. So say fingering, which is what fingering weight is 4-ply in the UK. And sorry, I'm looking off because I'm trying to remember. And DK, we'll go with 4-ply and DK because they're what I spin for and that's what I know. So I'm going to show you. I tend to spin for a DK. So to start off with, if you're wanting a DK in a 2-ply, what I do is half of a DK for each one, which would be a fingering weight. So do 2 single fingering weight and ply them together, you'll get a DK. If you want in a 3-ply DK, which is what I tend to do because I chain ply, I do a lace weight single. If I was going to do a traditional 3-ply, which is 3 singles, I'd make sure each one was round about a lace weight. For a fingering weight or 4-ply, I tend to do a 2-ply for it. I know it says 4-ply, but it's just the size, it's just the width. So for a 4-ply or fingering weight, I tend to do a lace weight, ply it back on itself, test it on, oh, I'll knock everything off, test it on this. So that's the lace, that's the fingering, that's the DK, yeah? No, that's 4-ply. Oh, so fingering's smaller than 4-ply. So we'll go with 4-ply and DK. You still need to spin fingering and lace weight. So for a 4-ply, I'd do 2 fingering or 3 lace. For a DK, I would do 3 fingering or 3 lace, depending on if you want a light DK or a heavy DK, which means it'll go somewhere in between the DK and the worsted, which is an Aran. Aran, it's worsted in America and Aran in the UK. So if you look at your thing, if you're going 3-ply, say you want a DK, go down 2 and do 3 of those. If you want a DK with a 2-ply, go down 1 and spin 2 of those. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to show you, and give you a few tips on spinning merino, because merino's one of those that, editing Sadie here, I forgot to mention that it all depends on what fibres you're using as well. So if you're using, say, Rambulate Polworth, you need to go a lot finer, otherwise you will end up with an Aran weight instead of DK, because once it's washed it fluffs. Whereas if you were using, say, something like Blueface Leicester, you would get the near enough the similar weight that you've spun for. Always remember, washing your yarn changes how it looks and the weight. Everybody wants to spin. Believe me, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it's overrated. It really is overrated. So, let me take a seat in my little seat and bring you over here. Yes, I'm propping you up. My wheel's the wrong way around, but that doesn't matter because we can turn it round. Right, as you can see on this, I am spinning. Oh, let me get me. I'm wanting a DK, and I will get a DK. And I am spinning a lace weight. Let's get that in so you can see. I'm spinning a lace weight, and I will get a DK when I apply it. But it'll be a light DK, if you understand that. So somebody asked for best tips, and somebody else asked for this video. So I'm spinning this grey merino right now, and over the years I've learned to manage to spin from the top and just go across the top. When I first started, I'm going to get something a bit brighter that the kitten decided, Mum, you can use this. So this is a merino, but it's not a soft merino. This is a higher count, so this is more of a 26 to 28 merino. What you do is you strip it, and then if you want to learn how to spin really fine, you've got that tiny one, I suggest splitting that again. Yeah, if you want, you can split it another time, and this is where we're getting to pencil roving, right? So this makes it easier to draft. Once you start drafting, you know where it is, but you can pre-draft, and then you go, oh, I don't like that, I'll just do that a little bit more, right? And when you pre-draft, you've got it roughly to where you want, and then what you do as you're spinning, you still draft slightly, depending on if you like or don't like what you're spinning. So I hope you saw all that. So yeah, for beginner merino spinners, I suggest playing with a little bit, breaking it down and learning and feeling how merino feels in the hand. So let me just get a little bit of the grey so we can show you what I mean, because it's not worse than someone just going da 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 da, but they're not actually showing you. So we've got that. I would normally spin across the top, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to take a bit and I'm going to draft it to roughly where I want to go with it, yeah? Because I will carry on drafting this. Untwist and twist. Right, get you on. What you want to do here is, let me get started, because imagine this is your leader, yeah? Let me just get to a point. So imagine this is your leader, and you just want to lay it on your leader or through the loop, depending on whether you just have the bit coming out or if you have the loop. And then you allow it to twist in. Right, so that's roughly about a fingering weight, that bit, and that's, yeah, that's not what I want. I want lace, which is down here. So that bit, you'll be able to figure out whether you want to stay at that weight or you want to come down. I want to come down, so I'm going to be drafting it some more. Oh, we've got a bit I don't want. So I will keep drafting to keep that bit. But with merino, I've also found it is quite slippery. So I allow the twisting, and when I draft it out, I untwist so that I've got the control over what's coming out of the fibre source. So I allow that twisting, and I untwist with my thumb and 2 fingers until I get enough fibre for my lace. So you can go too fine, which takes you down to cobweb, which once plied will either be a thread or a true lace weight, depending on how fine your cobweb yarn is. I have tried cobweb yarn, but it's one of those that takes just a little bit too long. I might as well have spun it on a spindle kind of thing. So I like my lace weight, but I don't technically, or should I say I love my lace weight, but I don't technically love cobweb. So I've not been showing you very well, but I hope I explained it well enough. I've had a few comments about my wheels, my pros and cons. I find this one hard because it felt like riding a bike. I don't know how to explain it other than something in me done this years ago. So when I come to use the wheel, all I was doing was honing my skill and refinding what I'd lost. Hence why I can literally go to any wheel and spin near enough. I think there's only one wheel I struggled with, and that was with Sheila's from the Viking Maid on the big massive one. Can't remember what that was called, but it's what she did her art yarns on. That's the only one I struggled with. The rest I've managed to spin on every wheel I've come across. That doesn't include walking wheels and hand wheels, because I ain't come across any of them. My pros for the Kromsky: if you've got back problems or leg problems, it's nice and light and it's perfect. Only con I've got is I don't have enough bobbins, or I could do with a bigger orifice. And I can get one, a bigger flyer and bigger bobbins, but they're goddamned expensive, like everything in spinning. So that's the only con I can think of. The Ashford, however, beautiful, beautiful wheels, absolutely stunning to look at. But if you've got back problems or hip problems, knees, legs, anything to do with your spine, you are going to struggle with an Ashford, just because of how heavy they are. Because they are heavy, really, really heavy. And I've struggled with both Ashfords that I've had. I've had a Kiwi, and now I've got a traditional. An Elizabeth, sorry, that I called Vivian. And to be fair, I've spun one bobbin on her, and I really can't bring myself to spin on her anymore because of the amount of pain I ended up in after getting that bobbin on. So yeah, I'm not one for Ashfords, but if you like an Ashford, that is absolutely wonderful. Can't really talk about e-spinners as I've only got a Nano, and to be fair, I don't use it that often. I think I prefer spinning with the motion with my feet. If you've never spun with a treadle wheel and you go to an electric wheel, you'll probably feel weird going to a treadle wheel. And I think that's all it is because I like treadling. Is the reason why I'm not an electric. I haven't spun on my Nano so much. Not just that, it doesn't have the same sound, if you catch my drift. It's not as mesmerising. I don't know. I do prefer my treadle wheel to an electric wheel. But it's, once again, down to preference. I'm just a fussy sausage just because I prefer to spin on the lighter side. I'm not one for chunky yarns because I don't use them. I'm not one for art yarns because I don't use them. So me doing this video, I feel like it's not helpful to anyone, just because, like I said, I have my preferences and I don't really like going out of my comfort zone. Going out of my comfort zone makes my anxiety go through the roof, and I hate that. But sometimes you've got to, and I have done in the past. But, well, hey, getting off that subject. I don't even know why I went on that. It's because I'm sat here spinning. So, anyway, I hope this video helped some of you out there. I hope I explained it right. Yeah, I hope I explained everything right to you. Simply because I struggle with words sometimes, and I struggle doing most things. It's why I show people, because I'm not very good at explanations. But we get there. You see my furry face? I love my furry face. I don't know why women get rid of the peach fuzz, because that's when they start getting beards. My mum did. Sorry, Mum. Off that subject as well. Well, thank you to all the new subscribers, and thank you to all your returning subscribers. And like I said, I do hope this video helped. You all mean the world to me. I thought I'd just be sharing to myself or keeping it as a diary. And actually, people have come and watched. I'm shocked. 3,000 of you. Wow. Anyway, I don't even think 3,000 do you watch. I think it's probably about 200. Oh dear. I do know quite a few of you wonderful people have been here from the start as well and have watched my progress as well as having their own progress move along at the same time. I hope all you new spinners can come along and watch whatever I've got. I mean, there's over 800 videos on this channel. There's plenty to binge. Further down, I do have a lot of fleece cleaning and things like that. I do believe I've done a few kind of tutorials. There's ones on combs and carding and things like that. I do know there's a few on budget spinning. I never finished that series. To be fair, I couldn't be bothered with the crafting side at that point. I will come back round to it, but anyway, I'm off. Don't forget, no matter where you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night time, I want you to do what you love doing. Love and hugs to all you fantastic people out there. I'll definitely see you all again very soon. Goodbye, my beautifuls. Mwah.